Hello and welcome to my picks of the best films 2025 edition. Seriously, WTF, where has this year gone? It's flown by. It honestly feels like yesterday when I was discussing the best films of 2024. Anyway, let's crack on and begin with the honourable mentions. A bunch of films that didn't make it to my top 10, but I still very much liked and loved all of them, and I would highly recommend every single one of these films. Friendship, Hallow Road, Warfare, The Secret Agent, Black Bag, Begonia, Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Die My Love, An Enemy, John Candy, I Like Me, Frankenstein 2025, Train Dreams, Superman 2025, Bring Her Back, Eddington, and I'm very sorry this wasn't in my top 10, Sinners. Again, all great films. I thoroughly enjoyed watching and experiencing these titles, especially Frankenstein and Sinners. However, we all have our own unique lists, which is absolutely fine, and in the end, this is just my opinion. So now we've come to my top 10 picks of the year. I hope you'll enjoy. When I went to see this film, I wasn't feeling that great. But then afterwards, I felt so much better. The Ballad of Wallace Island healed me. It's a casual, sweet, hilarious, and a feel-good film. The way it's written by Tom Basden and Tim Kaye, who are also two of the lead actors, and also the way it was directed by James Griffiths. If you're feeling a bit down and need cheering up, then check this film out. It's worth it. Writer Alex Garland and director Danny Boyle returned to the 28 franchise with a bang. 28 years later was a gruesome, intense, emotionally moving and a strong great start to this new trilogy. Once again, Boyle's directing was full of liveliness and energy and doesn't show a typical zombie film. With its fast pacing, mixed coverage of sound and music, and the rapid editing, 28 years later has so much personality. Breathtaking world building, the infected were frightening, and a story by Garland that's fully realised and never plays it safe. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Ray Fiennes, Jodie Comer and newcomer Alfie Williams were all incredible. I had a blast and I am so eager to now watch part 2, The Bone Temple by Nia DaCosta, this month. Zach Cregger's second feature, Weapons, was a solid, eerie, hilarious and a crazy experience. It is, in my opinion, a better second feature. Self-aware, carefully planned and a fun script with excellent performances by Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Alden Ehrenreich and Amy Madigan. A final act that was so satisfying, both being scary and funny, that it kinda gave me vibes from the final act of David Cronenberg's The Brood. The way Cregger kept Barbarian and Weapons a secret makes them more interesting and exciting to see before they're released. It's a clever way to get audiences' attention, and it works. Definitely one of the most exciting and respectable modern horror filmmakers working today, and I'm curious to see his version of Resident Evil this year. Marty Supreme by Josh Safdie was a constant roller coaster experience that it kept me on edge and intrigued to see where this story was going to go. Following this fearless, motivated and very watchable main character, who does have a passion but is also a narcissist, a grifter and isn't likeable. But that didn't surprise me, as I've seen other Safdie films in the past like Good Time and Uncut Gems. And like those other two films, and also Marty Supreme, it's the unpredictable direction by Josh Safdie and also the unpredictable character choices of Marty Mauser that always kept me so engaged. The film is full of energy, excitement, anxiety and hunger. If Timothée Chalamet gets nominated and also wins Best Actor at the 98th Academy Awards, I would not have a problem with that. Jafar Panahi's Palme d'Or winner at last year's Cannes Film Festival once again shows to be so respectable and brave of capturing a piece of art in a country that has extremely strict restrictions. It Was Just an Accident is a personal and powerful anti-government film that gave me goosebumps. If you go in completely blind, or know a little, the way the story and characters develop feels smart and effective. There is indeed moments of drama, but also there are moments of adventure and humour. Memorable and likeable characters with thought-provoking backgrounds and motivations. I will never forget that confession/confrontation scene. It really pays off for this film's political subject matter. Sentimental Value was a brilliant family drama film, a film about trauma, loss, healing, separation, memories, nostalgia, and the power of art. Excellent performances by Renate Reins, Stellan Skarsgård and Elle Fanning. The Borg family have incredible chemistry and connection. The way their family house gets shown and told so many times in different time zones makes you believe their history, relationships and demons. Danish-born Norwegian filmmaker Joachim Trier knows how to create and develop interesting and flawed characters that we, the audience, can in some way understand and relate to. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do next. One more thing about Sentimental Value, this film probably has the funniest birthday present scene ever. It's funnier if you recognise what the presents are. Eva Victor's directorial debut was a thoroughly well thought out film. Sorry Baby does a fantastic job of presenting a story about trauma with a subtle approach. But most importantly, it's about healing in sweet, humorous and therapeutic ways that lifts the main character's spirit and also the audience's as well. There are many moments to laugh with its dry and innocent sense of humour, and there are some moments that will stay in your mind for a long time and to think deeply about of what the main character goes through. Already being recognised as a talented star, Victor smashes it as the leading role, but it's their writing and directing that are really personal and confident. It proves so much potential Eva Victor has in the future as a writer and director, and I'm very excited to see what they plan to do next in that creative line of work. I have never heard so many people sob. I mean, I was one of them. Where do I start with this film? Chloe Zhao's Hamnet broke me, but in the end I felt so impressed by how compelling it was. A film about family, loss and love. Along with fantastic directing by Zhao, it's honestly the performances that carry so much emotional weight. Paul Mescal as William Shakespeare was pretty phenomenal. But Jessie Buckley as Agnes, or Anne Hathaway, yeah, pretty good. Actually, pretty great. But actually, pretty phenomenal as well. I hope Buckley gets nominated and also wins Best Actress at this year's Academy Awards. It's about time she wins an Oscar. The film has excellent visuals in its cinematography, sound design, costumes and production sets, and in the end there is so much emotional depth to process and remember in Chloe Zhao's Hamnet. No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook was amazing. I love the concept of someone losing their job, applies for another one, and then has no other choice but to try and kill the other applicants. But what Park Chan-wook does here makes it so creative and comedically dark. There are moments I felt tension, but then sometimes the execution would come across as really funny instead. As the main character, played brilliantly by Lee Byung-hun, doesn't have any experience and does struggle a lot. It makes the film more enjoyable, balancing the light and dark of attempting to murder someone. The film does a great job of presenting a theme about desperation. How far will one go to extreme lengths by pushing the limits to try and not feel desperate anymore and to keep on putting food on the table and keeping a roof over their family's head? It's stunningly well shot. The camera work felt unforgettable and original. The editing and music were also stunning. You can tell Park Chan-wook, the cast and crew had a lot of fun making this, and I myself very much enjoyed watching No Other Choice as a viewer. So now we have come to my number one pick. This is, in my opinion, the best film of 2025. War of the Worlds 2025 was special. Ice Cube's performance and reactions was something I had never seen before in acting. I cheered, laughed and cried. H.G. Wells, if he was still alive, and Steven Spielberg should... Whoa, what happens there? That was weird. Oh gosh, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, this is my number one pick of the best film of 2025. Paul Thomas Anderson's latest, One Battle After Another, was the most enjoyable and entertaining film I got to experience this year on the big screen. After I watched this last September, I said to myself, so far, film of the year. I still felt the same nearing the end of the year when I was making my list and choosing this as my number one pick. Once again, PTA's writing and directing felt strange, in a good way, self-aware, natural and authentic. He continues to be the GOAT. All of the performances are award contenders. Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor, newcomer Chase Infinity, and Sean freaking Penn all smashed it. Masterfully well shot, and the score by Johnny Greenwood was a triumph. One Battle After Another was chaotic, intense, hilarious, relevant, and an incredible experience. It kind of felt like a love letter to 70s cinema. It also felt like a mixture of a low-budget art house film and a big-budget mainstream film. And I remember feeling so impressed and satisfied at this film's presentation of every single scene and moment. In years to come, that car chase sequence will be remembered as one of the greatest, and what a way to use that location as the film's climax. This is cinema. And that is it. Those are my picks of the best films of 2025. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know your picks of the best films of 2025 in the comments below. Feel free to watch another video, and I hope your 2026 has had a great start. Have a wonderful day. Until next time.